Frank do an opening statement and then questions. Chris Silva will be available outside of the locker room in about 10 minutes.
First of all, I've been looking forward to this trip, not playing Coach Beilein's team, but looking forward to this trip. Just being in the environment of one of the great universities in our country. Hats off to the hospitality, the greeters as we walked in, the fans, unbelievable environment, and obviously playing a team like Coach Beilein's put together. That was our challenge. I told our players as we're trying to figure out who we are as a team, I told our players that the one thing that Michigan will do, excuse me, is they play like a championship team. There's no doubt that they played for a national championship this year and that they're going to compete at that level again because they don't take plays off. They're clean on everything they do. And that's a credit to coach and that group of guys.
Questions for Frank?
Coach, just talk about how your team competed, and it seemed like you guys didn't take very many plays off as well.
Yeah, we took a step forward today. We're trying to figure out who we are. We got between injuries and freshmen. I'm not saying that's the excuse for losing. That some people like to put words into what we say sometimes. That means that our growth was derailed because we can't get enough repetitions so we can create who we need to be as a team. We took a step forward, even though we lost at Wyoming, our practices because of repetitions and we're starting to get healthy, and losing the kid that was taking the ownership of the team in Justin Minaya, that kind of knocked us off a little bit. But we took a step forward this week. Definitely took a step forward today. I mean, I'm not into losing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not part of that club that thinks losing helps you in any way, shape, or form. But we came out today, and I saw a different gear from our guys today. So I was real proud that they stepped up to the challenge on playing such a good team.
Frank, there was a point in the second half there where Jordan Poole went on an 8-3 run that kind of put the Wolverines back up. Just what were your thoughts on his performance today and his 26 points?
Yeah, he's good. I mean, I saw him a lot in high school. He's a real good player. He's what we call a hard shot maker, and he plays. I don't think Coach gets the credit that he deserves for the way his players develop. They all speak about his offense because it is a machine, the way they play offense. But the growth of players. I grabbed Simpson yesterday when we got here for our practice. He was shooting around, and I grabbed him. I said, listen, man, I was watching our film from 2 years ago. And you and Teskey, I'm going to mispronounce his name, Teskey. I said, you and Teskey, we're like two little kids. I was watching the film. I said, now I'm watching you guys play, and you guys are like unbelievable how much better you guys are and how different you look. John does an unbelievable job of making his players better during their career. And I think you see that with the guys that have come through here, that have gone on to play in the NBA, how they continue to grow once they get there. But it's Poole's going to be a phenomenal player. He makes the easy shots and he makes the hard shots. Those are the guys that are hard to guard.
Any more questions?
Coach?
Yes.
Thanks, On-Point Basketball, Toronto, Canada. Just talk about the play of AJ this year, and there was a battle there between the Canadians at one point, Aegis and AJ. But talk about his growth so far and what you expect from him.
Yeah, AJ's been great. He got a little rattled today. That's where like Iggy has a crutch. I don't want to speak for Coach's team, but he's got all kinds of upperclassmen around him that have played for a championship. So he's got unbelievable help, resources. AJ, we got a lot of youth, and our experiences at the center spot, and Chris Silva and someone in my coach are. So it's a lot on the plate. Think about, we were just talking about Jordan Poole. Last year as a freshman, he'd have moments that he didn't look as good as he really was because he'd get wrapped up in the emotion of the game or whatever. That kind of happened to AJ today, but he's AJ, Iggy, that whole group of kids that have come in from Canada, the way that basketball has grown in Toronto is incredible. AJ's a special kid. He's dynamic as a kid, and I know I'm excited. I get to coach him every day. know, he didn't play his best today. He played with a lot of aggression, which I was happy to see, but he broke plays off, and you can't do that against Michigan because they're just too good. You got to know when to go and not to go when you play a team like Michigan. But he's phenomenal. He's an unbelievable young man. We're ecstatic he plays for us.
One more. You mentioned how Michigan plays like a championship team. They don't take plays off.
Mhm.
What other elements about their team give you that championship feel?
Well, 2 years ago when they came to us, we kind of had that element.
Right.
And that means that we came up with every loose ball. We came up with hard rebounds. We came up with, when we screened, we set screens. When we cut, there was a purpose to our cuts. Everyone worries about the ball going in the basket. That's a result of everything else being done the right way. And they've got that DNA right now. They don't make a cut. There's never a wasted cut, a wasted pass, or a wasted dribble watching them play on offense. So that's why they're so efficient. Their players are always in the right place. There's never two guys within 5 feet of each other. The spacing is always phenomenal. Then defensively, again, going back to John, everyone always speaks about his offense, so no one's ever really given his teams credit for how good they are defensively. And I think we're all starting to see that. They're long, they're all 6'6", so passing the ball gets really hard. They guard you, so, you know, I was watching the Villanova tape, and Villanova's trying to drive them, and it was hard to finish. They don't get out of the way, and that's what championship teams do. I don't know how I can phrase it any better than they don't get out of the way. You never get an easy basket against them. Every basket is like you have to be on your P's and Q's. If not, it's hard to get a good shot against them.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.